If we can figure out everyone's alibi, we can solve this case.
Raise your hand if you have an alibi!
I'm certain everyone who was inside the dining hall at the time is excluded from the suspect list.
That's true if you go by Yui's theory.
Then does that mean everyone who wasn't at the dining hall could be the killer? Then I could be the killer!
Oh my god.
If we can figure out everyone's alibi, we can solve this case.
Raise your hand if you have an alibi!
I'm certain everyone who was inside the dining hall at the time is excluded from the suspect list.
That's true if you go by Yui's theory.
Then does that mean everyone who wasn't at the dining hall could...
No, that's wrong!
No, you have a pretty tight alibi, Sawa.
Really? Yay!
You're in Noriko's room with the others from last night until you were awakened this morning by the body discovery announcement, right?
Ugh, finally. At least someone has a brain. Yes. Me, Sawa, Hayasaki, Amamiya, and Ayumi were together in my room the whole time. So you can exclude us from your suspect list.
Wait. I suck at math, but isn't that 14 people already with an alibi? 9 people in the dining hall, 5 in Katsuragi's room. That equals 14. I counted with both my fingers and toes, so I'm sure that's correct.
So, excluding Shoji, does that mean...
It means Ichinose Shion is the fucking killer. Once again.
What? What kind of plot is this? It's so cliche! Can you even call it a twist?
I mean, who else would be fucked up enough to kill someone other than that crackhead bitch?
Is this true, Shion?
I knew this would happen.
I suppose this is only natural when you haven't considered the details of how the culprit committed the crime.
Actually, Shion's right. We can't just conclude her as the culprit with this small amount of evidence.
What? But she's the only one without an alibi.
Listen to me, Noriko. I know that on the surface, it seems like only Shion could have been the culprit. But I think there are more possible scenarios that should be explored.
Izumi's right. I don't think that's how the story went.
Oh? Then how do you suggest the culprit would have committed the murder then?
Well, like Izumi said, we have to look at the evidence more thoroughly to reach a conclusion.
Agreed. Even though I am leaning on the Shion culprit theory, I think we should still analyze the crime scene first.
Damn it. What is there even to argue about? Let's just vote and get this over with. This isn't fair to Shoji. It's so damn obvious she's the killer.
Ooh, it looks like everyone's getting into a heated debate. Please remain still at your podium as you're about to enter the Scrum Debate Battleground.
Why are we doing this? Ichinose Shion's—
This one's mine! Our alibi can't be confirmed if we haven't figured out the culprit's method of murder.
Were there any more mysteries to be solved, though?
Michino! What about the mystery of who poisoned me and Ayumi's noodle cups?
The explanation regarding the steps the culprit took seems perfectly coherent.
Kichibe!
And those steps may turn out wrong once we figure out why the killer needed to initiate the blackout.
Neither we 5 nor the 9 people in the dining hall could have been the culprit. That leaves Miss Shion.
Hanako.
If Shoji died at night, then one of the people in the dining hall can still be the murderer.
Only Shion could have killed the victim and put up that whole show during their breakfast.
Yuriyama! Shion may not have killed Shoji, if you consider the possibility of her being an accomplice.
Ain't no way there's 2 killers!
Haru, there are 2 wolves among us, so it's natural to assume that there are 2 killers.
I honestly have no idea why I'm on this side of the debate.
Yui!
Girl, same! I'm just sticking with this side because Haru and Jita are here.
This is our answer! Everyone, I understand that you suspect Shion, and her being the culprit is not a possibility I can deny. But please, let's not reach a conclusion so early into the trial. If you want to prove that she is the culprit, you must be able to explain every little detail of the case.
Hold on. What is this about an accomplice? This is the first I heard of that.
Oh, that was my idea. The only possible way for Shion to not be the culprit is if she's the accomplice. The actual killer is someone in the dining hall. And Shion was the one who blocked the kitchen door with Shoji's body, and went to knock on the dining hall door this morning.
Yes, there are 2 wolves, so it didn't make sense to me. Why wouldn't they work together to commit a murder?
Oh shit. I didn't consider that possibility. No, if Shion was an accomplice, then how does the blackout play into this case?
So you agree she's the murderer?
No, I meant Shion has nothing to do with this case.
What? Then why the hell hasn't she been talking this entire time? Are you quiet because you're feeling guilty, Ichinose Shion?
Shion?
I'm sorry. I was thinking. It seems Kishibe already figured out who the true culprit is. I'm sorry that I must rely on you to clear my name. I haven't managed to solve this case yet.
But you must have already had an idea of who the culprit might be, right, Shion?
Well, it's not something I can exactly pinpoint at the moment, but Kishibe's right. I am neither the culprit nor the accomplice of this case.
Oh, great. And you're expecting us to believe that? If you can't come up with a good excuse, then you might as well just admit that you're a murderer.
Y'all, who the fuck could have knocked on the door and placed that letter there if it wasn't you? We were all sitting at the table inside the dining hall when we heard it. None of us could have done it.
Are you sure about that?
Duh, does it look like I'm blind?
What if I told you there's a way for someone to create a knocking sound without ever touching that door?
Like, magically?
No, more like technologically.
I got it! Are you talking about a voice recorder?
What? Such things exist in this place?
Yep, and it's right here. Have you ever tried this one?
Let me guess. It's from the storage again.
Duh, it's like a one-stop shop over there. Actually, I only obtained this yesterday. There were, like, 3 of them in a box, so I took them all. But I suspect there might have been some missing.
That means the killer must have gotten their hands on that device before you did.
They must be quite rare since I couldn't find any during my searches in the storage.
Yep, and with this, we can prove that the culprit did not need to walk up to the door and knock on it.
They just need to record themselves knocking on the door with that recorder and then replay it. Good job on finding this out, Chinta.
It's nothing. Moreover, this device allows the user to set the exact time they want the recording to be played, almost like an alarm clock. So they could create that knocking noise right at the door without even going a centimeter near it.
Are you suggesting the perpetrator might have hidden that device near the door?
Of course, the door is where the knocking came from.
You do know you need evidence to back this claim up, right? Did you find a recording device where you said it may have been hidden?
No.
Then there's no proof that device was used, yes?
I got it! There is evidence for Kishibe's claim. I found this after the blackout while searching for evidence in the dining hall. I believe this piece broke off from the recorder hidden at the entrance.
Oh, look! The material matches with that recorder!
Hold on. How did that piece even break off in the first place?
I think I might have an idea.
If you get lost, shout out and I'll yell back.
I think I said something! Sorry! Is it a rat?
No, it's like hard.
That's probably someone's foot. Now that I think about it, no one complained about their feet being stepped on. So that hard thing Hikari stepped on was probably the recording device. And that is how the piece of plastic broke off.
Wait. So that wasn't your foot?
No, that was just my guess. If it was my foot, I would have made you apologize.
But I don't remember seeing any recording machines at the entrance hall. None of us did. How do we know the killer actually used that device?
Well, the culprit hid it somewhere obscure near the entrance.
Huh? Where?
I got it! They probably hid it behind the potted plant at the entrance, specifically on the left side. If you remember, Haru commanded all of us to move along the wall on the left side during the blackout. And if Hikari stepped on the device while we were moving along, it could only mean that the device was placed behind the left potted plant.
Is that really possible? How did you manage to step behind a potted plant?
How the heck should I know? It was chaotic, alright? My arms and legs were all over the place.
Yes, I think that's definitely possible, because what else could Hikari have stepped on, if not that voice recorder?
I suppose you're right.
Great! So now we can prove Shion's innocence, right? Because if she were the culprit or accomplice, she could have just knocked on the door. There was no reason for the culprit to set a recording device unless they couldn't physically do it themselves.
Excuse me, but I was wondering about that envelope that you all recovered. I was not there at the dining hall, of course. But how did no one notice that letter?
Oh yeah! Why didn't we see that thing?
Yes. If you are suggesting that the letter was also placed there by the culprit beforehand, I would expect at least one person to have seen it prior to the knocking.
That's strange. Did all of us just miss that letter?
The letter was placed at the side entrance. Isn't that right? I was one of the first people to arrive, and I recall that everyone entered through the main entrance. Hence, no one could have noticed the envelope.
Yeah, and that letter was red too. It blended in with the carpet. So even if someone did see it, it'd be hard to notice from afar.
But there were 9 of you. How likely would it be for everyone to go through the main entrance?
Now that I think about it, has anyone ever used the side entrance? Because I'm sure that I go through the main entrance every time.
I don't remember, but probably the same.
Me too! But why is that? Doesn't it seem kind of impossible?
Well, I'm sure there must be an explanation.
I got it! It's because the elevator is broken.
What? How does the elevator even relate to the dining hall?
You see, if the elevator was working, there would definitely be people entering the dining hall using the side entrance. Since the distance towards both entrances is quite similar. But because we had to take the stairs, and the only side open at the time was on the left, our minds would subconsciously move us towards the door with the closest distance, and that would be the main entrance.
Oh, that makes sense! I for real thought the culprit used some kind of mind games or trickery on us!
Technically, the culprit did caught wind of this. And that's why they placed the letter in front of the side entrance to make sure no one would see it.
Oh, yes! I understand now. Thank you for that explanation.
By the way, how did you even get down to the first floor with the elevator broken, Ayumi?
Oh! Ryo carried me on his back down the stairs while Mr. Hagasaki lugged my wheelchair. Of course, I could just go down the stairs by myself. Albeit it would take quite a while, but a little help is something I would not mind.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just curious.
All right. From our preceding discussions, it seems that Mr. Kishibe has already solved the case. So, will you please allow us to know the identity of the culprit? Yes?
This may be unrelated, but something's been bothering me for a while now.
Please tell us, Nishino.
Well, Yui and Kishibe went to collect everyone, right? From what I've heard, the people who were in Katsuragi's room didn't hear the knocking. But what about Shion? Why didn't you guys bring her with you?
What? I've never heard of this.
Huh?
Ooh, about that. Obviously, Jinta and I decided we didn't want her around, so we didn't come knocking on her door.
Well, the same went for Shoji.
Wait, but what about you, Nishino? And you five who were in Katsuragi's room? You guys didn't respond at all when we got to your rooms.
Oh. Well, I was probably taking a shower after I woke up at the time, so I didn't hear you.
Did you really knock on Katsuragi's room door? Because I am sure that I did not hear you.
Of course I did. I didn't get any responses, so I just gave up.
Well, we played cards till, like, 4 in the morning. We were so tired. We were practically out cold.
Yeah, I was so sleepy. Even that announcement couldn't wake me up.
Yeah, so you can't blame us for being late.
We're not blaming anyone, Katsuragi. We understand, no pressure.
I want to go back to bed.
I want to ask one last thing. Yui and Kishibe, which one of you thought of the idea to not invite Shion?
It was Jinta.
So that's it.
Huh?
Here's the thing. Sure, the culprit placed the recording device to simulate the knocking noises. But blocking the door to the kitchen with the body is impossible to achieve by someone inside the dining hall. Unless an accomplice exists.
I'm getting to that.
Let's review all the facts we've gathered thus far. The culprit is one of the 9 people in the dining hall because the murder occurred during nighttime. The culprit's accomplice is Shion. They have been trying to prove her innocence throughout this trial in multiple ways. The culprit must be someone who had prior knowledge of the recording devices. And the culprit is the only person to separate from the group during the blackout. So tell me, who is the culprit?
I got it! Are you saying Kishibe did it?
Isn't it obvious? No one else could have been the culprit. Kishibe Jinta.
I'm the killer! Oh no! I've been caught!
Asmia, shut your bitch ass up and go fuck yourself. Use your brain for once, yeah?
Right! It can't be Jinta!
No. I'm certain that it's you, Kishibe.
Is that so?
Yes. You are the culprit. There's no other explanation.
That's rather bold of you to accuse me of being the killer. Hayasaki, please give me your evidence, your theories, reasoning, hypotheses, analysis, whatever. Please give them all to me. Because I'll rip every single shred of your logic apart!
Everyone is fighting.
I still think it's a bit early to conclude Kishibe's the killer.
How so?
Well, your reasoning feels like hypothesis rather than concrete evidence. So, we should probably take a step back and...
I'll take it from here. My reasonings aren't just hypothesis, Izumi. I have evidence to back them up. I'll show you. Please, listen carefully. Since Ichinose Shion is the accomplice, one of the 9 people in the dining hall has to be the killer. The culprit set up the letter and the voice recorder beforehand. So all Shion needed to do was lock the kitchen door with the body. This is only possible if the culprit had prior knowledge of the recording devices.
Well, a lot of people had prior knowledge of those recording devices. So, it's like Jinta said, our theory doesn't explain the blackout.
The culprit timed the blackout beforehand via the monitor in the breaker room, so that after the letter is found, the blackout would occur. As the final step, he went to the breaker room and used the monitor, because that's the only way the light could be turned on.
Those words! Wait, Hayasaki. While it is true that the monitors can control the lights, there was only historical data of it being used to turn them off. In other words, the monitors was used to initiate the blackout, not end it.
Then, how did the blackout end?
There was an emergency remote that could only be used to turn on the lights in the break room. However, it was missing during the investigation, meaning the culprit most likely had it.
And how are you so sure it was not Kishibe who had it?
Are you not listening to yourself right now? Are you that much of a fucking idiot? You literally argued that I went to the breaker room during the blackout to turn on the light, and now you're saying I have that remote? Why the fuck would I need to go to the breaker room to activate the lights if I could just activate it remotely?
Does that matter?
What?
You're a hacker, aren't you? Only someone with computer knowledge like you could have set up that blackout schedule on the monitor.
Dude, you only need to press like 3 buttons to schedule a light off. It's easier than setting an alarm on your phone. I'm not even kidding.
I can vouch for Jinta here. I checked out the monitor during the investigation, and the controls did seem pretty straightforward.
That doesn't matter.
What?
You're the only one with knowledge regarding recording devices. No one else could have been the killer.
Huh? But I also know about them. Besides, Jinta's voice recorder was fully intact. It can't be the same one that Kari K stepped on.
Don't you remember what he said? There were like 3 of them in a box. So I took them all. If the one he used to recreate the knocking noise was shattered, he could have just gotten a new one and shown us that.
What? I said I only discovered their existence yesterday! Meaning, if we exclude the first day, the culprit had a whole day to get their hands on one of those voice recorders.
Do you have any evidence that one of them was taken?
Dude, the storage is a fucking public space. It's communal. No one has the time or effort to keep an eye on everyone who goes in and out of that room. Anyone can take whatever they want, and nobody would know a thing. If I was the killer, why the fuck would I even bring up the voice recorders into this discussion in the first place? Any culprit with a brain wouldn't be carrying this pathetic trial like I am right now. Cat got your tongue? I thought so. Idiots like you should stay quiet and let the adults do the talking. Next time, if you want to frame someone, don't try it on me. I'll tear you from limb to limb.
I think he had enough, Jinta.
Yes! Please stop fighting, Kishibe. Yamani, if we keep arguing like this, we can't catch the evil wolf. Let's all take a deep breath and clear all the negative feelings out, so we can take on the wolves together.
Sure then. Well said, Hifumi.
Yeah!
Hayasaki, when Kishibe said something about not getting Shion to the dining hall earlier, how did you pinpoint Kishibe being the culprit just from that information?
Firstly, this case is impossible to deduce unless Ichinose Shion is involved. Obviously, as she's his accomplice, he had to find a reason not to have Shion join breakfast. We don't want her here because we hate her. Seems like the perfect excuse. For instance, if they asked Shion to come to the dining hall, yet she refused, wouldn't... So if Yui and Kishibe never invited her in the first place, Shion could use the excuse of, I was sleeping in my room and had no idea.
Okay, I'm gonna let you finish. But you're a fucking idiot, so would you kindly shut the fuck up?
You two are fighting again. And I thought my mediator talk worked.
Do you have evidence to prove that I'm wrong?
Did you forget Yui was the one who told you all that we didn't invite Shion because he didn't want her around, and it wasn't even brought up until a few minutes ago. If I wanted to clear Shion of suspicion by that method, I would have done it at the beginning of this trial. No, I would have done it since this morning, but I didn't. So as you can see, that was not my intention. I defended Shion because I know she has no involvement in this case. I defended her with facts and logic. You, on the other hand, pull reasons out of your ass to accuse me as the killer!
What makes you so different?
What makes my theory different is that it encompasses the logic behind the existence of the blackout, which you did not explain.
You mean, why did the culprit have to cause the blackout?
Obviously, because after Shion took care of the body in the kitchen, she must escape to the hallway through the garden. But because the door from the kitchen to the hallway was wide open since you all were reading that letter, Shion wouldn't be able to get past the garden without you noticing her, hence needing the blackout to hide her presence.
Are you fucking serious right now? The more you talk, the more you're convincing me that you're more brain dead than Yui!
Hey, I'm not brain dead!
All you do is make insults, yet you can't even explain your own arguments.
Then shut the fuck up and listen to me, why don't you? If Shion faces your aforementioned problem, there's a very simple way to solve it without having to cause the blackouts. All she needs to do is block the door with the body, then knock on the dining hall door. She would have had more than enough time to run out of our sight if she had done that.
She can't do that because the voice recorder that you mentioned went off before she could escape.
Then tell me, what's the purpose of the culprit setting up the voice recorder? Assuming Shion is involved, why would the culprit use such a complicated method to create the knocking noises when it only causes them more trouble? They could just have Shion knock on the door and run away. Then neither a voice recorder nor a blackout would be necessary. What? Can't cut your tongue? Might as well just admit defeat, don't you think? You'll never win a debate against Kishibe Jinta.
I'm sorry, but can we please end this meaningless debate? Kishibe is not the culprit. I know that for sure. And Shion is not an accomplice. This case has only one perpetrator. That is a fact.
Finally, someone with a functioning brain!
Huh? One person did all of that by themselves? I can't imagine how that would work.
Yeah. How is that possible? Sure, the knocking noises could be made from that device, and the letter could be set up beforehand. But what about the body? How did they block the door?
Yes. Will you please explain it to us then, Miss Hanako?
Someone in the dining hall was the sole culprit of this case.
Huh?
It's exactly that. One of the people in the dining hall murdered Shoji and blocked the kitchen door with his body.
Have you got insane, girl?
Yeah, what? I remember Izumi being the last person to get out of the kitchen and join all of us in the dining hall. But he went through the dining hall door. If the killer blocked that door with Shoji's dead body, they would have had to exit the kitchen through the garden door. Did the killer use magic to do that then?
Did any of y'all see someone go to the kitchen and drag that man's dead body out to block the door? Because I for sure did not.
Was it that you didn't see? Or that you couldn't?
What?
Oh, I get it. So you've solved the mystery.
I don't get it. All of this is making my head spin round and round again.
What I meant is, the killer utilized the blackout to drag Shoji's body out of the cabinet to block the door. Hence, none of us could have witnessed it happening.
So you're saying that during the blackout, the culprit ran to the garden ahead of us? Doesn't that sound unrealistic? How would they have navigated through the dark without any light? It took us a long time to get to the garden, and the lights turned on just a minute after that.
Yeah, there's no way the killer could have done that in such a short amount of time. Isn't it impossible for the 9 of us to have entered the kitchen during the blackout? It's like one way is blocked and the other way is impossible to reach.
Oh my god, are you two even listening to yourselves right now?
Oh, right. I forgot. The body was already blocking the door before the blackout occurred, wasn't it? Are you saying the culprit used the blackout to block the door with the body? Wasn't that already done by then?
Right? It's literally a locked room mystery!
Yes, you could say that it is a locked room mystery. Because in detective fiction, locked rooms are never actually locked to begin with. It's all a gimmick established by the culprit.
Hold on a second.
What is it?
Shouldn't we discuss this a bit more? Concluding who the culprit right now is...
Then should we just vote you off now?
Huh?
Ichino says Shion. You have already figured out the truth, haven't you? But must I remind you that you are still one of the prime suspects in this case? So if you wish for us to not pursue this person, would you rather be executed in their stead? You know in your heart you want to save them, but you're too much of a coward to risk your own life.
Okay. Then, if it's not Shion, then who's the killer? When you said the door wasn't locked earlier, what did you mean by that?
It's simple, really. Think of it this way. A locked room culprit is like a magician setting up a trick for his audience to create a false impression, a misconception. The question is, out of the 9 of us in the dining hall, who was the magician who constructed this locked room illusion?
What are you? I got it! If what Hanako's saying is true, then... Nishino, you're the culprit.
Huh?
What? I'm the culprit? Huh?
Going by the theory that Shion is neither the culprit nor the accomplice, the only person who could have pulled this off is you, Nishino.
Bingo!
Hold on, guys! How is it possible that I'm the killer? We were all in that room together, right? How could I have blocked the kitchen door with Shoji's body?
It's like Hanako said. You could have done it during the blackout. That way, no one would have been able to witness your crime.
What? Are you joking, Izumi? That door was blocked before the blackout, remember?
But how can you prove that it was blocked before the blackout? When there was only one person who checked on the door to the kitchen initially. And that person was you, Nishino.
Hold on, that's true. Only Nishino attempted to open it.
Huh? How does that make him the killer? I don't get it!
Other than Nishino, did anyone else try to open that door after we received the letter?
I don't think so. I guess before any of us could check, the blackout already happened.
Where are you getting at, Izumi?
What I'm saying is, how can we confirm what Nishino said about the door being blocked? Was not a lie.
Seriously? Hey, I wasn't lying. That door really was blocked.
Wait! How can you prove that what Nishino said was a lie, huh? We have all this evidence stacked up against Shion already! The case makes sense when you consider her as the culprit! But Nishino? Aside from your theory that he lied about the door being blocked, there's no way you can explain how he pulled the whole thing off! Besides, there's no way Nishino would kill someone! Especially not Shoji! You've seen it for yourself, right, Izumi? Nishino, he's...
No, you're wrong.
Huh?
There are a few events that would make no sense if Shion were the culprit. For example, why did Shion need to cause the blackout? Or why would Shion need to set up the voice recorder or the monitor timer when none of them were necessary for her to act out the events in the case?
Well, that's because...
Yeah, Yui's right! How could I have killed Shoji?
Please don't talk. We do not need to hear your excuses. If you wish, I could explain the entire case from the beginning and prove you're the culprit. So please don't try justifying with me. It's pointless. It would only waste everyone's time. At this point, I'm confident that I can refute any reasoning you dare to throw at me.
That's not fair.
Huh?
You dare accuse someone of murder, yet you silence them the moment they try to defend themselves? Who gave you the right to do that?
Oh? It seems like the little sheep still doesn't understand the position she's in. Do you think just because my reasoning defends you from a guilty verdict means you're safe to just say whatever you want? How naive. Must I remind you that there are no punishments for voting the wrong culprit? I'll gladly vote you off right now if you don't shut up and behave yourself, murderer.
You're right.
What's that?
I am a coward. The kind of person who would betray anyone just to survive. But I don't want to be that person anymore. So, even if I have to risk my life, even if you tell me 1,000,000 times you want me dead, after everything Nishino has done for me, I'd rather lose my life than continue living knowing I did nothing to help him back.
Shion?
There are still things that are left unexplained. If you can't solve these mysteries, you can't conclude that he's the culprit.
Yeah, I agree with her. I don't think Nishino is the kind of person to kill someone. Shouldn't we at least give him a chance to explain himself?
Actually, I also want a detailed explanation on how you guys reached the conclusion of Nishino being the culprit.
I believe what Miss Hanako was trying to suggest is that Mr. Nishino lied about the door being blocked after you all received that letter.
Yes. Then, once the blackout occurred, he ventured back into the kitchen while everyone else was making their way towards the garden. From that point, he placed the body in front of the door, therefore creating the illusion that it was blocked before the blackout.
But how could he have navigated his route while blind? It took us more than 5 minutes to walk from the dining hall to the garden in the dark.
I got it! No, there is a way Nishino could have navigated in the dark.
How so?
He could have moved along the walls. Wasn't that the same technique we all used to find our way to the garden?
Oh, that's right.
We were all standing in front of the side entrance when you discovered that letter. If you take a look at the layout of the dining hall, you can see that the door to the kitchen was directly facing us. Meaning, all he had to do was turn left and go straight. If he had lost his way, he could always move along the walls using his right hand.
In addition, remember when Izumi mentioned that the culprit hid the recording machine behind the potted plant on the left? I didn't think much of it at first, but there was a deeper reason for this. It was so that the culprit could easily retrieve the device.
So, putting the device in the left potted plant instead of the right one made it more convenient for him.
Yes, All he had to do was to pick it up from behind the plant when the blackout occurred. And then follow along the walls with his right hand until he reaches the kitchen door. Open it, go inside, drag Shoji's body out of the cabinet, lock the door, exit through the garden, meet up with us, then turn on the lights. This would all be possible if the culprit's previous statement about the locked door was a lie.
This pretty much proved that only Nishino could have committed the crime. He was able to retrieve the recording device and enter the kitchen during the blackout. Then all he had to do was block the door with Shoji's body, then leave the kitchen. I wouldn't doubt if he had practiced this a few times beforehand, just by closing his eyes.
Then, once in the kitchen, the only door he could have used was the one to the garden. It was pitch black in there at the time, so Nishino could have been hiding there for as long as he wanted, and we wouldn't know a thing.
Right! Like, he probably controlled the lights or something. It can't be a coincidence that the lights turned on a few seconds after we got to the garden.
That's right. It's not a coincidence at all.
Fully airball! I'm correct?
Remember what I said about the missing remote in the breaker room that could turn on the lights with a click of a button? Nishino had it. He was waiting in the garden, in the dark, for us to arrive. Then, once he heard the doors open, he turned on the lights with that remote, and boom! We all saw him in the garden at that point.
Making us believe that Nishino is with us through the whole ordeal of moving from the dining hall to the garden.
But he wasn't with us at all. He was in the kitchen, committing his crimes.
A childish trick, if you ask me.
Well, I think that's the conclusion. The only person who could have pulled this off is... Nishino.
I've heard enough from you! There are holes in your argument, Izumi. I suggest you recheck your reasoning.
How so?
There are a few discrepancies that would not make sense, assuming Nishino is the culprit.
Do you have an argument for that?
Of course. I'll explain it to you. Nishino isn't the culprit. I have the evidence to prove that. Anybody could have murdered Shoji, hid his body, wrote that letter, and blocked the door. Nishino lying about the door being blocked? That's not evidence. That's just your theory.
Shion, why are you doing this? If you're saying Nishino didn't lie, then that means someone must have put Shoji's body there before the blackout. And no one else could have done it, if not you. If you're defending him with that reasoning, then it's no different than admitting you're the killer.
I'm not the killer, but neither is Nishino. There has to be some sort of trick the actual killer used. We have to look at other possibilities, and that's why I need to first prove his innocence. Sure, you proved that we could move in the dark by going along the walls. But that's about it, isn't it? What about while in the kitchen? Getting the body out of the cabinet, using it to block the door, and getting it to the garden? It's all impossible to do in the dark.
I'll cut through those words. It's not impossible.
What do you mean?
Take a look at this.
What the hell is that?
Oh, that's a flashlight.
Kakeru, where did you get this?
While I was searching around the kitchen during the investigation, I found this in the trash can.
That does seem like a peculiar spot for a flashlight to be in, especially considering its appearance is that of a brand new one.
Exactly. There's no reason for anyone to dispose of a perfectly fine flashlight. Unless that person is, for some reason, trying to hide it.
So here's what you're saying. Nishino used this flashlight while he was inside the kitchen, moving the body. Then, after the deed was done, he hid the flashlight in the trash can and left for the garden.
Yes, I believe that is the case.
Just because you found a flashlight inside the trash can doesn't mean Nishino used it. Where could he have gotten it? There were obviously no flashlights in the kitchen. You were all there in the morning. You should know!
He got it from the storage. And he could have had the flashlight on him the entire time.
You don't have evidence for that! What if someone planted that flashlight inside the trash can? Has evidence to frame him?
What?
Shion, it's okay. You can stop.
What?
If you keep on fighting for me like this, it'll only hurt you more in the end.
Nishino, don't give up! You can fight for others. You fought for me. So why can't you fight for yourself? You know you're not the killer, Nishino. So prove them wrong. Please.
You're right. I didn't kill him.
I guess what they say is true. Birds of a feather do flock together. Of course, only a murderer would defend another of their kind. This trial will never end if you two continue this charade. Let's just stop this and admit you're the culprit, Nishino. You're hopelessly fighting a battle where the results have already been predetermined.
I did not kill Shoji, and I will continue to fight until all of you believe that. Kami Hanako, your deduction is wrong, and I will not back down until you admit that!
Oh, my deduction is wrong. Oh, you poor, naive child. If you're so willing to continue, then please allow me to deliver the final nail into your coffin.
Do it then. I dare you. I'm not the killer, so I will not back down until my name is clear.
Very well then. Everyone, there's one last thing I want you all to reconsider.
Huh? What is it, Hanako?
Remember the crime scene. Visualize the image of how it looked inside your mind. There's one particularly strange phenomenon that we weren't able to explain yet, correct? Everyone, try to recall the strange phenomenon at the crime scene.
Phenomenon? What are you talking about?
She did say it was a part of the crime scene. So maybe the body?
Are you saying there's more to the cause of death?
Think of every element that stood out at the crime scene.
Oh, now that you mention it. Some changes were made to the first aid kit.
Did someone get hurt?
Yes, actually. Someone was killed. There has to be something else at the scene.
I guess there's one thing that kind of creeped me out.
Did you see a ghost, Haru?
No. I'm talking about...
I agree with that. Wait, hold on. the freezer door, do you all remember the condition it was in?
Yes, I recall there were multiple scratch marks on it. Was it Shoji who made those marks?
Since he was pushed into the freezer alive, he was probably trying to find a way to get out of there. Oh, what an awful thought.
No, he should have known that escaping the freezer would be impossible. But hypothermia can give humans mental confusion, so I assume those scratches on the door were only made to release mental frustrations rather than as an attempt to escape.
But there's no way he used his nails to claw that metal door, right? Thinking about it is making my nails hurt.
Well, I doubt nails alone could be damaging enough to cause those marks.
Oh? Then how did he do it?
I got it! He probably used a knife.
Knife?
You mean the one that the culprit used to stab him?
Well, yeah.
Wait, how are you so sure those marks are caused by a knife? Could it be like something else? Like, I don't know, a frozen chicken? Those are pretty tough.
Actually, I'm confident that only a knife could have caused those marks. Not just any knife, in fact. I believe it's the same one that the culprit used to stab Shoji. I got it! The condition the knife was found in is proof that it was used to cause those scratch marks.
Can you be specific?
Yes. If you were at the scene, do you remember how the knife looked when Iriyama pulled out the victim? It was covered with bumps all over its blade, and the overall condition of the knife was rather poor.
Ah, right. That's the one thing we weren't able to explain yet.
So I believe Shoji had the knife while he was in the freezer, and used it to scrape the metal door.
I can imagine the sounds in my head. I don't like that.
Wait, isn't that a contradiction? If Shoji had the knife with him all along, wouldn't that acquit me of being the killer?
Huh?
I must agree with Mr. Nishino. Shoji having access to the knife does not seem to make a lot of sense, does it? Yes, if the knife was in the freezer with Shoji after he passed, the culprit could have just taken it and stabbed his corpse. However, if Shoji had a knife with him all along, why did he not use that to fight the culprit?
Yeah, good question. If he had the knife, he could just attack that killer. Shoji's a strong-looking guy. I doubt he'd be done that easily.
And how exactly are you going to prove that the killer wasn't attacked?
What? So you mean an altercation occurred between the victim and the culprit?
That's a ludicrous line of reasoning. Take a look around you. Do you see a single person with a wound on their body?
True. If someone were stabbed, we would have 2 dead bodies right now.
No, don't jinx it. I don't think I can handle having to go through 2 trials in a row.
Sorry for butting in, but I wish to clarify that according to the rules, you would only need to go through 1 trial if 2 murders occur in the same round.
Well, I suppose that helps.
Back to the main topic. I hope you understand that just because you're stabbed by a knife does not necessarily mean that you will die. As long as the knife doesn't hit any of your vital organs, chances are you'll survive with some medical help.
Clearly, Nishino doesn't look like he was attacked at all. And that goes for the rest of us.
Are you sure about that?
Well, no one seems to be bandaged up, so...
I got it! Iriyama, remember what you told me?
Yeah, you're talking about that, right?
Exactly. Would you please tell everyone, Iriyama?
This morning, when I was in the dining hall, I saw Izumi gulp down an entire bowl of ramen in exactly 5 seconds. And he looked like a dinosaur doing so.
What the hell are you talking about?
Whoa, is that true?
That's damn impressive, if you ask me.
That's not what I meant.
Oh? I thought you were talking about that.
Stop joking around. This is serious.
Whoa, alright, I'm sorry.
Anyways, Hirayama told me that the first aid kit in the kitchen was tampered with. Even though it looks the same as it is every other day, its contents were actually used and were replaced with the same ones found in the infirmary.
Yeah, let me explain.
Better not joke around this time.
Promise. Anywho, the moment I walked into the kitchen earlier today, I was hit with a smell of iodine, which could have only originated from the povidone iodine bottle. You know, the yellow bottle with the red, blood-like liquid, the stuff doctors use to treat wounds.
What? How does that tie into me being the killer?
Just wait, will you? Kazuya, what happened next?
Well, the yellow bottle in the medkit was brand new. It was completely sealed shut. So how could we smell the iodine if it was never opened?
Yeah. In addition, when Iriyama and I met up in the infirmary, we found another povidone iodine bottle that was used halfway. So we assumed that this bottle initially belonged to the kitchen's first aid kit, and whoever used this bottle must have swapped it with the one in the infirmary.
I see. So a physical confrontation did occur. That means Shoji grabbed that knife in self-defense and attacked the culprit. But he was pushed into the freezer before he could have done anything.
That is probably the case.
I'm sorry, but how exactly does this tie into Mr. Nishino being the culprit? It does not seem like he has any injuries on his body, yes?
Does that even matter? Let's just all vote already. I'm getting sick of being here.
Well, we should at least let Nishino speak before we make our decision. Our votes will be going towards someone's execution after all. We should still remember to be responsible, even if the person we're voting for is a murderer.
Well, do you have any last words? Hello?
Yeah, I'm not the culprit.
This again.
It's just like Ayumi said. I don't have a single wound on my body. I'm not sure how you all came to the conclusion that I lied about the door being blocked without any evidence, so please, reconsider your decision.
Did you not listen to what was said in the past 30 minutes? Evidence points to no one but you being the killer.
You can't conclude that he's the killer if you haven't looked at other possibilities. What about accomplices? What about false evidence? The culprit might have set up some sort of mechanism that caused the door to be momentarily locked.
That's true. We haven't discussed other possible scenarios. If you haven't solved every mystery, then you can't say I'm the killer!
It seems that you still haven't given up yet.
Of course I haven't. I can't give up.